So let's talk about this for a moment. Pardon me. And as I often say, people aren't very bright. Sometimes this page will post things that are kind of neat if you're into horror movie stuff, which I still like horror movies, even though a lot of it is full of agendas in other ways. But these days it's so on the surface, it's on the surface and most people can't recognize what it is for what it is. This in particular. If you read this jazz, and Red Band obviously bought into this bullshit. Somebody's pulling their strings. Granted, I don't really like most of the movies they knocked out before they started doing things this divisive. But read the rest of it, because I probably shouldn't say it out loud, because we live in patently fascist times. And hopefully you just did. Now, I was interacting with a dud on here, and I said it was propaganda. Is this... Whoops. Where does it begin? Everything's always out of context in here. Let's see. That's the recent one, and there should be 2 comments in here, I swear. He left another one on here too, but I don't see it. Maybe it's elsewhere. What's down here? 1 second. Nope. We should all be something else. Oh look, no one cared. Yeah, so he was just jumping in there and he was barking at everybody who challenged this, apparently. He left another comment in here, but I don't see it. So I said, look up the Tavistock Institute and how it relates to the eugenics agenda, which is clearly alive and well. He wrote back and he told me... Wait, maybe I can see it here. Give me another second. I'll have to dance with this fucking thing. He said, yeah, yes, a horror movie is propaganda because it has a category. Kids aren't thinking for themselves, and or he's just, doing what he's doing to try to justify the crap that he's bought into. And so for the most part, I left him, the typical canned responses I give to duds. I said, if you're the slowest person in the room and no one is wise to this glaring fact, why open your mouth and remove all doubt? In other news, if you looked into what the Tavistock Institute is and how it's related to the eugenics agenda, you could have reasoned out why I left a comment in the first place. Apparently, you're incapable or unwilling to connect the dots, which is to say you are the problem. In other news, your assumptions are noted. And I think I said that twice, and I'm long-winded, as some of you guys know. I'm also on Instagram, that's why I can leave these longer comments. And I'm screen recording, and then I put it on TikTok, where you can't leave longer comments. Yeah. I also told them brain-dead kids who refuse to think for themselves and lack original thought. That's the type of limp dick that would leave, quote-unquote, cringe on the internet. That one will probably be flagged and removed, most likely. Then I said, if people were using their brain, the brain between their ears, they would understand this is a tool of manipulation. Once, genres welcomed everyone. Now it's divisive, polarizing garbage. What I just highlighted is one of the many ways you can appreciate that this is a propaganda campaign. It's a joke, but most people aren't going to be able to pick that up because most people aren't terribly bright these days. And whoever this chick is, she's fucking promoting it. And that's the worst part. I'm still following this, which is even better. I mean, that's poor form on my end because, but I still want to see some of these horror movie things. Jesus, this is a horror movie that shouldn't have existed. This is how these things work, and myself included. I'm not above it in some cases. So, should I bow out of this? Probably. She's also shopping around Globe Theory propaganda through the use of social engineering stickers duds call emojis. If you look up at the top, you see the little globe next to the more button. I mean, she doesn't know what she's talking about. But for the most part, she should just be posting horror movies. That's her bag. I mean, she doesn't have to do what I want, and people won't. But that's her niche. But instead, she's posting this type of thing, which is on par with Kevin Bacon Alphabet Movie. No, I didn't bring it up. Kevin Bacon LGBT movie. This fucking garbage. Propaganda. It's programming, right? They're conditioning people. They're roping people in. Now they're doing it through the specific genres. They're breaking these down now, too. So what our masters have been up to, they've been tearing down strong, straight male characters left and right. Bad pun. Now they're ripping through the genres, and they're essentially absorbing them and shitting out bargain bin copies, which is what this is. This is blatant propaganda. It wasn't a horror movie. It was fucking horrible. I made myself go through it to see what the fuck they were shopping around. Either way, what the fuck do I know?